Title 15, Chapter 15, Subchapter A, Part 275, Subpart 2. Drilling and Production, Oil, Gas Commission, Department of Energy, Subpart 2. Alright, Title 15, Dakota, Arkansas Rules 275-201, application driven with the production well, with the deep of the casing well, with the meat of the operating well, with the well, drill with the measure of the depth of the cement casing, shoot with the open hole, with the completion of the deep of the meat of the operation, whereby with the well, drill with the original measure of the depth of the well. Drill mean with the commencement of the operation, either the set of the conductor pipe, with the drilling pipe, with the capable of the drilling, the depth, with the set of the requisite, with the mouth, strip of the casing, with the spudding, with the well, with the conductor pipe, with the knot, you with the permit, hold with the means of person whom the permit is issued, responsible for the all regulatory, with the requirement drill, with the production, with the well, with the well drill, with the deep and recenter, after plug, with the exploration, with the production oil, gas well, with the brown water supply, with the connection, with the enhanced recovery project, re-enter means of the operation whereby, except for the previously plugged well bore, re-established for any purpose, including replugging 6A with the shell with the operation meaning with the drilling active with the production gas out with the petroleum hydrocarbon directed unconventional shell gas formation county listed in Title 15 Code Regulation Arkansas Rules 275, 230C, and 230D. Shell operation down include with the period of inspection meeting with the repair with the completion active with the period active with the inspection survey and staking the drilling additional with the re-drilling and recompletion operation existing drilling pad with the operator does not exhibit the existing pad with the for purposes of section show with the operation does not include well construction operation spud mean with the commencement with the drilling well bore with the deposit with the set with the requisite amount with the surface casing the permit application proceed with the permit drill with the deep with the re-enter with the production well with the no person show with the drill with the deep with the re-enter with the plug production well without a permit copy with the permit posted with the site with the private well spread with the commencement of the deep with the re-enter with the operation of the permit holder with the required app provided with the notice to serve the owner according to the Arkansas Code 1572-203 after notice required with the code with the Arkansas Code 1572-203C with the entry with the serve the owner shall serve the state is required on the effective after with the effective date with the rules shall contain with the proposed date shall with the operation will come in with the location proposed well with the pad location include in section township with the range of the plot with the pad location if it's available to statement with that with the permanent hold with the pending with the approved with the drilling permit with the pros shall operations for the owner property with the permit shall be available the inspection for the owner only required with the service owner with the name of the address the telephone number fax number the electronic mailing address with the permit holder's agent notice shall be determined with the United States Postal Service delivered personally to the service owner with the address of the service owner state with the public record of the collector of the county in which the state owner's property will be located with at least 14 days before the permit owner proposed the beginning shell operations of the owner property written notice for the permit holder and term of the beginning shell operation given the end of the subsection permit holder is not required to give it any with the notice beginning with the complete shell operations of the owner property written notice of the subsection presumed with the delivery and third day with the mail certified and immediately upon delivery on hand delivery written notice of the not required with emergency situation which operations require to protect the public health and safety of the environment if the service owner with a contractual relationship with the permit holder agency specifies when and how permit shall give the notice of the regarding beginning with the shale operations after the receive the written notice of the permit holder in terms of being shale with operations subsection for the owner shall with the make of the alteration proposed with the drilling location interview with the shale operations for the owners receive the notice provision subdivision B2A through 5 with the section above with the not superseded with the modified notice provisions Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rules 275-229 permit holder shall notify the appropriate oil gas commission with the regional office of the telephone and approve the method at a minimum of 24-hour day period well spudding commencement of the deepening and re-entering with the operation commission staff can conduct with the site inspection of the deemed necessary no product well drilled after surface location other than specified with the permanent except for the permanent holder with the commenced drilling operation production loss due with the adversely drilling condition prior with the surface casing being set permit holder may request amendment of the permit without a fee with the new location provided with the production well remains the same so with the owner property well with the production was originally permitted the director of production conservation may approve of the commencement of the drilling operation prior with the filing of the amendment permit with the movement of the production well located for the original surface owner property so after the surface casing has been set requires filing a new application along with a new permit fee and plot. Drilling may not commence prior to the initiation of the new permit. The application for the permit fee for the drill with the deep and re-enter of the plug in production will show the meaning of the form of the described with the director of the applicant and security on the penalties required perjury accompanied with a non-refundable permit over $300 if the permit shall not be issued with any required with fine and financial with assurance of the corner with the Title 15 Code of Arkansas rules 275-202 submitted with an approval of the applicant that does not contain the required information required with the documents for the director. His or her designee shall notify the applicant in the writing and notify this shall be specified additional information document necessary with the evaluation application for the drive with the applicant with the applicant deemed with the denied with the unless the information and documents received within 60 days of the following the day of the mailing of the personal delivery notification permit shall automatically 6 months with the day of the issuing with the unless of the commencement of the drilling, the deep and re-entry of the plug production well operation over the rise of the permit occur with the well continue with the diligence with the non-exceed with 1 year with the day of the commencement of the drilling, the deep and re-entry with the end plug production well operation authorized with the permit in which of the time production well shall be applied with a new permit application along with a new permit fee and apply with a must be filed with a permanent drilling with a deepening and re-entry with the plug production with a well not transfer with a private with the completion with the drilling operations thing with the casing new permit application along with a new permit fee with a plat must be filed with a permit application of the drill deepening re-entry with the plug production well shall include with the minimum pro the name of the production well survey location ground elevation first production well with the survey that not recover the deep in the production well with the re-entry with the plug production the original production of the well below survey to unshow with the original production well permit application the applicant of the horizontal production well to the location of the proposed bottom of the hole of the location of the unilateral portion of the horizontal production well shown if applicable form 25 submitted with the horizontal production well with the cost of the production share with the well between drilling well units according to the Title 15 CFR code of Arkansas rules 275 230 and 230 or 231 form 5 messages in the location exemption according to the Title 15 code of Arkansas rule 275 227 the plat showing the exact location proposed with the well drill the deep and the re-entered outline proposed drilling unit in leasehold of whichever the applicable unless with the production well with the wildcat well with the distance of the production well with the intersection line with the drilling unit lines lease lines which is whereas applicable for the provided with the production and with located with the controlled oil gas field include the location producing oil with the complete with the producing same common source of supply of the drilling unit on the leasehold with the name of the proposed drilling content of the proposed drilling production well with the name of the deep of the geological formation to be tested applicant with a permit for drill the deepening re-enter plug production shall be signed with by a person authorizing signed with the owners of the organization report according to the Title 15 code Arkansas rules 275 212 that the applicant must be authorized with the state of Arkansas with the following application applicant irrevocable waives to fully extend with the permitted law of the objection hereby with the commission applicants has for the requirement of applicable statutes the election shall be the issue with the known circumstance be the unduly withheld unless the applicant has status falsely falsified with the author or otherwise misstated any material information on relevant to the permit application over the permitting authority if it may be issued in the Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rules 275-104. Production while drilling planning permit revocation proceed with the director may revoke with the permit reduction well permit but if the permit hole fails to meet with the permit condition especially with the production well with the drilling permit production well permit is issued for the area with the permit falsify the otherwise must stay with the many with the material with the application form of the director shall know for the permit hole with the production well permit and running fund with the revocation with the notice of the permit hole with the requirement of the plug production well with the plug period of holder of 30 days with the day with the production well with the permit with appeal with the director decision revoke production with the drilling permit in accordance with the Title 15 Code, Arkansas Rules 275, 101, and 102 with the other applicable hearing procedure. The drilling production may not commence continually drilling with the appeal process with the revocation production while drilling the appeal with the has not been filed with it shall become final administrative the decision of the commission in 30 days from the date of the revocation. Okay, proof of financial responsibility required to be furnished. Alright, Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rules 275-202, proof of financial responsibility required to be furnished. For this purpose, the selection of the person operative with the producer, the owner of the design, with the direction, with the production, conservation, his or her, with the designee, with the partially responsible, with the combined, with the entity, with the required, with the whole, with the permit drill, with the producer, with the display, with the inject, with the referred to, with the permit holder. Financial assurance with the required to submit with the following application drill, oil and gas well, or gas oil, class 2, disposable oil, injection well with the brine production well, class 5 with the brine disposal well with the water supply out of the type of explanatory holes or well. Application with the transfer of the ownership of the operation existing with the oil and gas well with the class 2 with the disposal with the well, injection well with the production, brine production well with the class 5 with the brine disposal well, water supply, other type of the exploratory hole or holes well with another permit well or holder. Financial assurance is required with remain full force effective with the designated with the permit holder for minimum with the 1 year of the issue with a permit equivalent with the Arkansas Code 1572-214 well is not drilled. If the well is drilled until the well has been plugged associated with the production site with the restored in accordance to Oil Gas Commission and or until the well has been transferred to the new permanent hole with accordance with the Commission rules. Financial is no longer required to remain in full force with the subsection C with the section only to be released if at the time of the request of the release full conditions have been satisfied. With the outstanding notice of the violation ordinance compliance issued against the permit holder to be satisfied, if applicable, the permit holder has paid an annual fee assessment with the commission in accordance with the subsection H of the section 2 for the consecutive years, and all permit holders required holders of the record of the Commission January 1st, 2006, who were the assessed with an annual fee with accordance to subsection H for the section paid such fees, not in violation of the Commission order or rule at any time when the fees were paid. Financial assurance shall be submitted to payable to the Commission in the form of the surety bond with the issue with the surety company is authorized to transact business in Arkansas. An irrevocable letter of credit subject to the following conditional letter with the credit over the shall be issued with the buy of the bank suit with the deposit of the insurer of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. B1. Letter of credit shall provide with the face of the Commission law assigned with the attorney of the Commission with the sign with the Macy with the waive of the proposed with the appear with the behalf of the confess judgment against issuing banks and any confirming bank with an event of the letter of credit is assigned on the letter of credit shall redeem the Union County Arkansas purpose for the enforcement any of the actions there on the shall be enforceable the court over the Arkansas with construed with the Arkansas law. The letter of credit shall form of the production prescribed with the director certificate with the deposit subject to the following condition of the director his or her designation shall certify with the deposit with the maybe to pay with the sign of the commission roll with the written upon with the records of the direct banking issue certificate. If the sign of the director his or her designation shall require with the banking issue certificate to waive the rights to set off the liens against the certificate of the director his or her designation shall not accept the individual certificate deposit the amount success with the minimum maximum insurable amount was determined by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation over the Federal Savings Loan Insurance Corporation. Any interest occurring in the certificate of deposit shall be the benefit of the permit holder, except for the accrued with the interest shall be further applied with the payment penalty with the certificate of deposit forfeited with the company commission. The certificate of deposit with the negotiable instrument shall be paid with the commission in the possession. Certificate of deposit of the negotiable instrument of the withdrawal of the facility endorsement permanent holder shall be paid with the commission possession can be submitted with the personal corporate check with a payment order with the cashier with the deposit with the commission authorized bank account. Financial assurance shall be required with the holder permits over the order drill with the operator with the gas well with the class 2 with the disposal of the well injection fluids and the associated with dry gas production well with the permit holder commercial well with the 2 with the disposal well with the permit holder to brine production glass 5 brine disposal well or wells primary permit holders with the other type of the well or exploratory holes or wells permit holders with the fluid liquid hydrocarbon production wells and class 2 the disposable enhanced oil recover the injection well with the operator with the conjunction liquid hydrocarbon well with the wet have not permitted the record with the commission of the minimum of 2 calendar years preceding date of application specified in subsection B of this section. G1 the permit holder is required to submit with the financial assurance the minimum amount with the financial assurance shall be with the $3,000 per well with the oil and gas production class 2 with the underground injection SWD well associated with the liquid hydrocarbon class 2 underground injection enhanced recovery well with the well supply with a connection with the enhanced oil recovery project with the blanket financial insurance with the oil and gas production class 2 and enhanced recovery with the water supply wells is filed with the $25,000 for 1 of 25 wells, $50,000 to 26 to 100 wells, $100,000 101 or more wells, $25,000 per well with the brine production blanket financial insurance with the brine production supply wells. $250,000 for 1 to 25 wells, $500,000 to 26 to 550 wells, $1 million for 51 wells to more wells, $25,000 per well class 2 with a deposit associated with liquid hydrocarbon well class 5 with a brine injection well with $550,000 per well that is a class 2 commercial disposal well plus additional financial assurance associated with the wells as well is $50,000 in for 1,000 barrels, billion barrels of the on-site tank storage, 1,000 barrels, $100,000 over the for over 1,000 up to 2,000 barrels on-site storage or BBLs to onshore tanks, $250,000 for over 2,000 BBLs of the on-site tank storage plus an additional $150,000 if the sum of the dump vat is utilized on site of the offload fluids. The director, his or her designee, authorized to approve the administrator of each of the financial assurance of the instrument required to be filed with the commission. The director is further authorized to require with additional financial assurance based on not limited to holding a limited permanent operative state, environmental consideration, well locations of the storage facility with the other environmental, energy, geological factors impacting the cost of plugging well with the restoring with the associated well site, storage facility with the compliance history, permitted order with the in hand for the January 1st, 2006, the financial assurance with the form of an annual fee with the shall be paid with the permanent holders, liquid hydrocarbons, and with the Class 2 with the disposal of the Class 2 and enhanced recovery wells associated with liquid hydrocarbon wells, as well as wells as filed with the fee should be assessed annually. The issue of the permits and well for the record January 1st each year. The all assessed fees shall be paid in full by March 1st of each year. For the as each sum of the permit holder authorized to produce the transfer of the authorized escrow with the inject with the will be determined in unit and delinquent fees are paid. Permit holder shall remain liable to payment such fee with the wells under permit if the permit holders plug within reach of the wells of the well will be transferred with the new permit holder with the pursuant of the commission rules liability with the payment annual restored effective date of the save of the commission with the notification transfer form. Any permit holder fee check with the return of the due of the insufficient fee with the basic of the becomes because of the payment was stopped with the permit holder required to pay with the fees of the cashier with the money order with the permit holder may administer with the content with the amount with the fees assessment by substitute written object with an assessment and with the amount on before March 1st of each year. The objection must be accompanied with a full assessment when it be in writing and be signed with the permit holder by an individual signed with the sign of the permit holder identified with the name of the objection included with the statement of the fact of the supporting with the objection copy of the relevant document support with the objection. The director of his or her designee to review the application have the authority to amend the fee assessment refund with any of the monies due with the permit holder amount with the annual fee with the assessment of the January 1st to annual old permit holder liquid hydrocarbon associated class 2 wells as well with a 1 to 5 permit well with $1,100 per well, 6 to 15 permit wells $750 per operator, 16 to 50 permit wells $1,000 per $1,250 per operator, 51 to 150 permit wells $2,000 per operator, 151 to 300 permit wells $3,000 per operator, 300 or more permit wells $4,000 per operator. Permit holders failure to comply with the commission with the order to plug, replug, or repair a well with the restore of the well site within 30 days of the issuing of the order with the constable of the ground for forfeiture of financial assurance held with the commission as follows. The director shall send with a written notification certified mail routine request for the permit over the issue of the financial assurance with the informing with the director with the direction determination with the forfeit of the financial assurance with the failure to comply with the above the commission or the director may allow the financial assurance with the issue with the undertake with the unnecessary with the plugging with the replugging the repair of the site restoration work of the financial assurance with the can be demonstrated with the ability to complete with such work in accordance with the commission rules. No financial assurance with the liability shall be relieved as such of the completion of the plug with the replugging and repair of the site restoration or with the commission in the event of the forfeit of the financial assurance with the warrant to know with the provision and section of the director shall afford with the permit holder with the right of the hearing if such hearing is requested in writing with the permit holder at 15 days with the forfeit and notification mail with the accordance with subdivision K1 of this section. If the permit holder does not require the hearing a 15-day period, the director shall issue the final decision over the forfeiture of the collection funds. If the hearing is required for the permit holder, the hearing shall be docked for the next regular scheduled commission hearing. At the forfeiture of the hearing, the director shall present the evidence to support the determination of the financial assurance and forfeiture of the permit holder shall present evidence contesting the director's determination. The commission may administer the oaths of the affirmations of being a witness of the written with the printed material of the compelled with the tens for the witness of the production of those material compelled with the discovery. Take evidence necessary to render the decision within 30 days of the closed record with the forfeiture here with the commission shall issue the finding of fact, conclusion of the law, and conclusion of law and disposition of the case. Alright, that was 275-202, proof of the financial responsibility required to be furnished. Alright, Title 15 CFR, Title 15 Code, Arkansas Rules 275-203, spacing on the wells. Purpose of this section of the respect of the Sabbath rules exploratory drilling is wildcat well with the uncontrolled area of the well location should be defined with the purpose of the well drilling the ation of the well location with the defined with the probe of the bottom hole of the location in a vertical directional drill of the well the estimated productive portion of the lateral horizontal well projections for the purpose of design with the American Petroleum Institute with the number of well site with the location considered with the actual surface location of the well. For this purpose, the well setback provisions, except for the uncontrolled area of the well location, with defined with the actual physical location completed interval of the well projected with the surface as follows. In a vertical drill with a well without the directional survey of the well location, survey the location with a vertical drill with a well location located with a perforated internal well over the well bore projection vertically with a survey in a directional drilled well with a location located midpoint with a perforated interval of producing formation out of the calculated with a directional survey periodic vertical survey the horizontal drill with well location entirely perforated with a lateral section of the well bore shown on directional survey the period projection vertical survey the spacing of the oil and gas established oil gas commission over the shovel to govern field rules particular field that I adopted with the notes of the hearing spacing of the wells over the other areas of the destiny of the perspective of the oil and gas production should be governed by the general rule adopted by the notes of the hearing well location well drill oil gas production exploratory drilling established commission order should be not located closer than 280 feet with the drilling unit boundary except for the well drill with explanatory drill unit established in Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rules 275, 230, and 231 or 231 shall be governed the applicable wet setbacks of Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rule 275, 230, or 231 respectively. Following apply for the Wildcat well location not drilled with the exploratory drill units well location Wildcat well drilled with the oil gas production purpose the area but not covered by the rules of the Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rule 275, 230, or 231 shall be not located closer than 280 feet with a quarter division line of governmental section well location Wildcat well drill purpose of the oil and gas production subject to the field rules proposed with the direct geographical location geological formation field rules to be established subject to the set provision specified in the subject Vision E1 of this section, the well location when the well drill with the gas producer that was completed in the pools fields. Rules does not give the uncontrolled pool should not be located closer than 280 feet with this mineral lease line. Following apply with the injection well with the drill with the complete with enhanced recover the class 2 with the disposal with the class 2 with the commercial with the disposal of the well as defined in Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rule 275-801. Well location of the injection of the well drill with complete with enhanced recover the purpose of the drill but not be located closer than 280 feet with the unitized boundary line with the well location class 2 with the disposal of the well class 2 with the commercial with the disposal of the well with the drill with the complete with the pursuing of the Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rule 275-801 should be located no closer than 280 feet with the drilling unit with a boundary with the control of the field with the well location with the class 2 with the disposal of the well class 2 with the disclosure commercial disposal of the well complete with the pursuing of Title 15 CFR 275-801 outside with the control field with the uncontrolled field shall not be closer than 280 feet from a quarter division line with the governmental section. When the well location class 2 with the disposal of the well, class 2 with the commercial disposal of the well, with the uncontrolled field with the drill complete with the pursuant of Title 15 CFR Code of Arkansas Rule 275 and 801 shall be located no closer than 280 of the mineral lease line. However, with regard to the class 2 with the disposal of the well, with the requirement maybe with the direction of the production conservation officer with the operator with the being encroached upon give the permission of the class 2 with the disposal of the well be located to closer to the distance and way with the requirement of the hearing of the before the commission of the operator of the class 2 that disposal of the well appropriately commission of the regional office. H1 in the well location from the well drill for the purpose of water supply, purpose of the enhanced oil with the coverage subject with all of the provisions section of exemption with the setback provisions over the well location of production of hydrocarbons will allow with the water supply well. The commission may, after note the hearing of the grant exemption when the section provides such exemptions will create neither waste nor hazard with the conduct of waste, nor well drill violation section of this well without special permit to obtain with the man with the prescribed in the said rule with no well drilled under the special permit. What does conform to terms of such special permit in respect with the shovel to permit with the producer oil and gas, any such of the wells drilled in violation of the rule violation permitted granted under the exemption section shall be plugged. That was 203 spacing of the wells, and let's see, we got 232. That's how we got a long way to go. Alright, application for the transfer of the well 204, definition with the current with the permanent hold of the meaning with the personal requirement with the hold of the permit the issue with the owner with the right to drill with the producer with the operator with the set with the well with the possessor with the flow rate with run with the operating well with the well with the corners. Applicable Arkansas with the rule and or rule of the oil gas commission with the head with the current obligation of the plug and set with the well with the wells with the who's assigned with the transfer with the shell with the voluntary involuntary with the wells deep in the case of the well means with the operator whereby the well is drilled with the measure with the deep of the well below with the casement sediment casing shoe with the opening held with the completion with the deep of the means for the operating with the whereby with the well is drilled with the deep of the original with the depth of the well drill means for the commencement of the operations either shed with the conductor pipe with the move with the drill rig with the capable of drilling the depth of the prerequisite of the amount with surface casing with the spudding of the well with the conductor pipe not used. New permit holder means with the purpose and quantum of the wells of the well with the right to drill with the produce of the operator shall with the wells who with the obtain with the full right for the responsible for the operating of the well with the wells and quantum with the Arkansas of the law and rule order of the Oil and Gas Commission with it will obtain with the obligation with the plugging set with the well with the owner and operative of the quantum for the applicable the Arkansas of the law rules and order of the Oil and Gas Commission is required with the whole of the permit re-enter with the beginning of the operating of the whereby surface the area of the well or establish transfer of the means assignment of the device of the release transfer the takeover the buyout with the merger sale with the fancy with the other transform transfer of any kind with the where for the voluntary and involuntary well meaning for the production well with the defined in Title 15 Arkansas Rules 275-201 provisions of the section applied for the transfer of the entry of the person required for the whole of the in whom the well transfer the issue of the permit hold included but not limited to change over the ownership of the right to drill with the producer of the operator of the wells include the obligation ultimate plug said well if the designated owner of the operator of the owner of the operating of the other similar agreement pursuant with the action with the owner separate the interest of the designated with the owner of the permit hold with the required with deployment by with the court competent jurisdiction trustee with the receiver the exercise custody with the control over the well with which include with the right to the drill with the producer with the and operate with the well's obligation ultimately plug and set with the well with the provision section shall not apply with the transfer of royalty overriding royalty fractional working interest of not affect with the rights responsible for the permanent over the provision of the section shall not apply with the transfer of the well with the abandoned orphan in accordance with the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rules 275-701 or Title 15 Code Arkansas Rules 275-702 transfer the well to deem the abandoned orphan and subject with the transfer of the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275-703 notification transfer shall be given the direction director of production conservation his or her designated with the permanent with the whole of the prescribed with the director of the separate of the form of the complete with the each of the leaf of the well with the until with the transfer notification shall be signed with the current permit hold with the new permit hold with the authorized representative of the organization report filed with accordance with the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275-212 with except for the in lieu of signature with the current permit hold with the new permit with the holder with the may substitute with the current order of the legal document evidence of ownership of leaf the train for the event with the current permit hold with the cannot locate with the review with the sign with the notification transfer form lieu of signature with the new permit hold with the current permit holder submit with the documentation evidence transfer the ownership of the well lease for the unit event with the new permit holder refuses to sign with the notification transfer for them prior with the director his or her designated approve of the transfer of the quest new permit holder be authorized to do business with the state of Arkansas provided required financial assurance with the applicable with the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275-202 and subdivision H and 4 with the section below filed with the required organizational report with if applicable for the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275-212 and with the 4A1 transfer the age of the gas well with the producing less than 25 MCFs of the day per Oil Gas Commission records well with the receiver the app approve of the temporary abandonment step with the for the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275-207 and the current permit hold the new permit holder with the file of the application on the form prescribed with the director requesting the ministry of the approval of the transfer of the request transfer of the request required approve with the ministry of the permit hold with the petition with the well specific with the financial assurance of $35,000 for each natural gas well formed in accordance with the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275-202. If the transfer of the request is denied by the director of the donors with the current permit hold with the new permit hold with the he or she with the referring with the request of the commission with the current with the permit hold with the permanent file with the application according with the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275-101 and 102 with the end establishing the hearing proceed with the commission review with the transfer of the request with the transfer of the request review with the commission after the notice of the hearing is provided above the new permit holder shall have an additional well specific financial assurance with $35,000 for each natural gas well with the form in accordance with the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275-202 this otherwise provided with the commission after the notice. If the transfer of liquid hydrocarbon production well with the receiver advisor with the approve of the temporary abandonment status according with the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275-207 the new permit is required to replace with the amount of the well specific financial assurance is required for the current permit unless they otherwise provided with the commission after the notice of hearing with the prior to transfer of the new permit holder denied by the director with his or her the designated with the new permanent holder not fully satisfied with all the applicable requirements. Commission does not approve of the transfer of the accordance with the subdivision H4A with the section above with the new permanent holder with it falsified with the otherwise misstated with the immaterial information relative to the transfer application. No further permits authorities may be issued in the accordance with the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275-104 E12 or the director his or her designated with the necessary for the transfer of the request to be denied for the purpose of protecting correlated rights of all the parties that prevent the ways of the defined in the Arkansas Code 1572-104. The new permit holder was responsible for all the regulatory requirements relative to all the wells over the surface facilities existing at the time of the transfer related to the well with the new permit holder that shall be responsible for the regulatory requirements relative to the spill of the crude oil or the other production fluid that occurred prior to the duty of the transfer unless for the new permit holder otherwise agree with the current permit holder if any of the well and leave the other units associated with the well with the violation time of the transfer the request for the new permit holder the transfer the request denied pending the abatement of the violation of the current permit holder. However, the new permit holder, after being notified with the violation or violations agreement, the rating of the transfer, then include with the condition of the debate with the violation transfer that must be approved with the director for his or her designated according to the section for the debate with the violation of the time of the debate period specified by the director. His or her designated may resolve the revocation of the transfer the approval in accordance with the subsection over the section of the below or the applicable action with the according with the Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rule 275-104. The current permit holder is not responsible for any regulatory violation called for the action of the new permit holder during the permit transfer process. However, the transfer is denied by the director for his or her designated the current permit holder assumes all responsibility of violations caused by the new permit holder. Nothing in this subsection shows the fact that the contractor rights obligation of determining the person with the entity transfer of the well with the person with the entity acquiring with the wells and well with the transfer over the request shall not affect with the right of the commission any obligation during the current with the permit holder the rising under the applicable Arkansas laws, rules, of the orders of the commission of the director shall notify for the current new permit holder the transfer the operating the denial with the writing form of the approval of the denial with the transfer the approval of the request for the current new permit holder shall have 30 days from the day of the approval of the denial with the appeal with the decision of the director's decision according with the Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rules 275-101 and 102 with the other applicable hearing proceed with the transfer the request approval of the denial with which of the applicant had not been filed with the because of the financial administrator of the commission and within 30 days of the day of the approval of the denial with the transfer the procedure the director may revoke the well transfer the approval if the permit holder the fail to meet with the permit conditions specified will transfer approval of the well transfer the approval of the issue of the air of the permit holder falsify with the other administrative the material of the information application form of the director shall notify with the permit holder the well transfer the revocation in writing following the revocation notice so that with the permit holder is required with the plug well with the permit holder for 30 days of the day of the well transfer revocation with the appeal of the director's decision revoke with the transfer the approval of the quote for the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rules 275-101 and 102 with the other applicable hearing procedure for the drilling production operation may not commence with the continue with the drilling and appeal process. In either the revocation well transfer with the approval of which of the appeal has not been filed to become final administrative decision with the commission 30 days after the day of the revocation. That was application to a transfer a well. Alright, 205, submission of the well record, the issue of the certificate and component of during the drill of the original, the complete for the recomplete for the work over the well, with the owner of the operator contract for the drill, with the other responsible for the conducting of the drill, with the original complete, using the recompletion work over the operation, so the adequate, the record of the well, the drill, with the at which for the acceptable oil gas commission with the agent for the reasonable time of the purpose of the section original completion, for the term of the initial zone of the preparation with the configuration will have with the production included with the pipeline connection, with the further complete with the work initial with the configuration of the well, is considered the recompletion of the work over. So for the following requirements, the subsection D and F of the section with the purpose of section recompletion is defined in Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rule 275-103 with the purpose of the section work over defined in 525 Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rule 275-103 upon completion of the work over the well record with the specified F1 through 3 with the section of the well with the cemented with the well the drill with the dry hole with the well retrieved from the casing with the not been set with the subject with the well record with the submission requirements specified with the subsection with the F1 through 3 with the subsection 30 days for the completion of the drilling active with the original completion of the recompletion of the well with the operative with the contract with the drill with the other person with the responsible with the conduct with the drilling and the operation shall file with the commission properly filed with the commission completion report and electrical log with the geological physical with the well bore with the measurable resistivity porosity with the temperature with the gamma ray emission with the plane with the directional horizontal of the bore deviation directional logs include the true vertical depth log with the submitted with the 1 inch of the 2 inch of the 5 inch of the 100-foot scale with the format other scale format except for the commission all logs shall be submitted with a minimum paper copies with the scan with the continuous log paper format. Electrical copies to other than logs for the logging server the company with the operator required with a submit with a copy of the electronic logs of the either LAAS or ASC2 format raster format vision 200 dots per inch of the black and white with TIF JPEG BAPM and commission of the approved electronic storage devices. Electronic copies of the log logs cannot be provided with the logging server, the company with the operator shall with the file with the app with the commission stating with the electronic log that cannot be provided with the logging server, the company. Logging well server, the company to take with the applicable completion recompletion operation with which indicate with the log completion of the activity occurring with the well with the property file with the app with the request for the certificate of compliance application of the abandonment of the for a dry hole direction of horizontal well of the derivative deviated well does not comply with the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275-220 with the following shall be determined with the post well drilling plat with triple determined with the completion or quick completion of the report to demonstrate with the actual with the location on the vertical directional horizontal drill with the borehole with the drilling unit. The plat shall provide present with the following with the location of the wells which have been drilled with the drilling unit except for the wells with the plug with the banded with the provide with the surface of the bottom of the hole location with the midpoint perforation of the deviation directional drill well the closer with the point along with the lateral section horizontal point portion of the well with the bore with whichever the zap of the bench with the nearest mineral leaf of the drilling unit with the division line with the governmental section whichever is the apple the dribbling unit field with the distance between the common surface supply with the applicable determination required with the actual location either entire perforated length of the lateral section horizontal well shown with the set distance of the offset with the well with the directional strip of the table the form and the company with the following two-dimensional cross-secting the diagram by view perpendicular axis of maximum lateral borehole the displacement fixed measure through vertical depth displacement of the well bore with the azimuth plot view with the planning view with the provide with the displacement of the well path of the surface location above of the report shall be filed 3 days original completion of the recompletion work over the well prior to the commencement of the production upon the receipt of the required information subdivision F1, 2, and 4 section Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule with the 275-230-031 if the applicable certificate complying with the issue of the granted of the authority to produce transport oil and gas for a period of 30 days with the required information specified in F3 of the section of the file with the order for an permit and produce for the transport to be issued with the half of the completion of the activities completed within 90 days of the setting of the producing of the casing of the production relief of the casing of the required information specified in F13 of the section submitted with the pending of the submission of the final report's conclusion completion of the activities with the request of certificate of compliance failure to comply with the provision of the section sufficient reason to cause the suspension issue with the further drilling permit of the statewide basis to the operator until the required information is submitted to the commission within 10 days after the written notice provided with the operator failure to provide with the required information. If the operator may request with the writing with the long described subdivision F2 with the section but keeping the confident request of the line for the period of the 90 day with the logging completion abandonment well with the provide with the report of the data therein pertaining with the being true with the evidence public hearing with the before with the commission any of the court regardless of the request such of the record be confidential. Alright, 275-206, oil, gas, water to be protected before any will of the well produced in the horizontal and corner with the shovel being abandoned with the owner of the operator shovel the meaning of the method of the receive with the meaning of the necessary to with the prevent the water entering oil, gas, bearing formations. Protect underground surface of the water suitable with the domestic irrigation purpose of the waste with the downward drain with the harmful infiltration and addition of the deleterious substances. Alright, when wells should be plugged and abandoned with a notice of intent of the abandoned wells. When wells should be unplugged with an abandoned with a notice of the intention of the plug and abandoned well. 207 with the current permit holder the responsible for the plugging well the defined section is escape of the leaking of the well plug responsible for the corner with the Title 15 Code of Acquisition Code of Arkansas Rule of the 275-219K and L. All new well with the drill with the liquid hydrocarbon and natural gas with the high brine exploration, brine production with water supply with the injection purpose except for the describing the 15 Code Arkansas Rules. 275-210 regard with the depth with the properly case for the production case for the uncased well with the dry hole with the plug with the band with the corner with the apple with the oil gas commission rule with the extension of the time of the plug with the granny with the corner with the subsection C with the below. See uncased well with the dry holes with any well of production case that is not set with the cemented with the trouble plug with the corner with the apple commission rule with the time of the equipment with the drill set with the release of the drilling operation with the cave with the shape of the drilling operate for the multiple drilling red C with the drill with well over the period of time. Production casing should be set with the commence cemented within 180 days after saving the surface of the casing with the well should be plugged with unless the extensive with the time plug is granted the corner with the subsection C2 with the section below. 2 with the director of production conservation however the may be the grant with the extension with the time plug the uncase for the well with the determining whether the grant with the extension with the determining the length with the extension of the director may consider the permanent holds with the specific plans of further well bore utilization to hold the depth of the well with the depth of the surface of the intermediate casing the description of the current condition of the hole including the scoop of the tap of the drilling fluids currently in the well location of the well with the direction with the determination uncased well presents the risk contamination environmental risk public safety experiment hold of the should require with the repair case plug and perform other remediation measures as well as determined the director within 24 hours after the notification by the director. All case wells utilize with liquid hydrocarbon and natural gas brine production water supply with the injection purpose except for the whole described in the Title 15 Code Control Rules 275-210 when the liquid hydrocarbon production wells was located actively producing wells that should be plugged in or abandoned with the the applicable commission rule of the wells be idle more than 24 months. Sooner should be the director determine and give the present with the risk contamination, environmental risk, public and safety unless the application filed with the request for the temporary with the abandonment status with according to the subsection H of the section below. 2. Upon such determination, director of the temporary abandonment stay with the permanent hold of the commencement plug with within the 3rd day of the notification of the failure to comply. Commence plugging with within the 3rd day of the notification. Director may resolve the initiate the well at abandonment proceeding in accordance with the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275701. All right, prior to commencement of any of the working, plugging abandonment operation permanent with the other person responsible for the conduct of the drilling operation, give it a notice of the intent of the plug with the provision, secure with the form, describe the director's office, the uncave with the well, with the drive hole, with the notice, with the provide, with the verbal, the fast one, with the communication with the mission, with the regional of the office of the well, with the well is located soon as possible, not less than 8 hours with the prior to commencement of plugging operation. Or for case well with the written over the form described with the director shall provide with the commission regional officers as well with the located within 72 hours prior to the commencement of the plugging operation upon the receipt of the removal of the such verbal and written notice of the commission regional officer authorized the commencement of the plugging operation may send with the duly authorized commission representative of the well location and witness for the plugging of such well with the authorization plugging the ban with the granted unless the appropriate notice specified in subsection E of this section above has been provided with the commission permanent hold of the reasonable responsible for plugging the well without providing per notice required with the can result with the permit holder the required with the drill out with the well plugged in commission observation temporary abandonment status. Application for the temporary abandonment status shall be made with the form prescribed with the director approved with the shall be valid with the exceeding 3 years with the day of the director's approval of the expiration 3-year period over the holding commencing plugging operation 30 day of the island application request the hearing before the commission in accordance with the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275 101 and 102 with the other applicable hearing proceed with the request for the extension of the 3-year period of temporary abandonment status. Wells approved with the well of water flood enhanced oil recover to the extent of the initial 3-year time limit as long as the unit remains active. 2A with the wells which were not produced more than 10 years after the non are not eligible for approval of the director with the temporary abandonment itself unless the wells approved of the well or flood and enhanced oil recovery unit remains active. Temporary abandonment status of the wells will only be granted with the commissioner after the notice hearing in accordance with the Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rules 275 101 and 102 with the other hearing procedures. Temporary abandonment status of approved by the director provided with the final insurance with the amount with the $35,000 per well with the before with the drive with the natural gas production, $15,000 with the well with the hydrocarbon production well with submitted to each well. Financial assurance with the prescribed with the form prescribed with the Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rule 275202 with the remaining valid unit with the well with the put back for the status sustained with the production plug and transfer the well is secure with a suitable wellhead with not leakable to any substance for the strip of the well set with the maintained according with the Title 15 Code of Arkansas Rule 275219I. Proper well identification maintained in accordance with the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 27519B with the usable groundwater is protected with utilizing one of the following methods. Set drill, retrieval of the other type of mechanical plug above the producing with the interval of the commence and then the portion of the production case for the 150 feet below the base for the lowest underground with the water where in the area with the secure with the surface of the wellhead of the well involved with the operating conditions of the pecker running on the tube of the production with the interval with the cement with the portion of the production case at least 150 feet over the base of the lowest with the usable the groundwater of the area with the secure with the surface of the soup of the wellhead of the pack off with the equipment the clove of the atmosphere of the wellhead with the valve of the operable condition. Running in a casing inspection with the blood conforming with the mechanical integrity of the production casing with the circuit and the surface of the wellhead with the valve of the operating condition conduct with the fluid level of the test where line other approved of the electronic mechanical means with the determined sac fluid level of less than 150 feet below the base of the lowest of the unusable groundwater area with not less than 48 hours. Those prior to conducting the fluid level of the test which may be the witness the commission staff of the fluid level of the test may be conducted annually within 60 days prior to the anniversary day of the temporary abandonment during each of the 3-year contemporary abandonment period. Failure to maintain the above the conditions may result in the issue of the notice of violation. Failure to permanent with the comply with the notice of violation. Other applicable administrative decisions according to the Title 15 Code Arkansas Rule 275-104 shall 1. Resolve the revocation of the temporary abandonment station. 2. Require the well plugged in 30 days unless the extension time of the plug with the granted with the after notice hearing. Wills retaining the active status of the temporary abandonment status shall the file with the authorization commitment production in the form of the prescribed director. That was 207. Alright, 208, plugging methods. Methods of procedure with the plugging of the well should be with the bottom of the hole, should be the valve with the top of the eave of the tram with the cement plug with not less than 100 feet in with the length of the should be plate for the casing with immediate bill with the bracing with the trap of the pride bridge plug with a regardless wireline type with the maybe plate for the top of the each for the producing strand. In the event with the bridge plug with the eave of the permit with the abandonment of the bridge plug with must be converted with a minimum of 10 feet with cement with the casing must be free from opening for the except for the perforation and check for the producing formation with the casing with the bore with the annulus must be valid cement lead with the 50 feet with the top of the formation cement plugs not less than 100 foot and the length should be approximately 50 feet below with the fresh water bearing trim and surface with not cemented with the base with the fresh water bearing trim and then with the surface of the casing has been cemented below with the base with the fresh water stratum 100 foot cemented casing the plug should be the inside of the base with the surface of the casing and plug should be placed over the ground each of the plug hole within such a minute interfere with the cultivation and the interval between the plugs should be filed with the proof with a heavy mud and lead and fluid an uncased rotary drilling hole will have the cement dugs not less than 100 feet and placed immediately with a smack over to the limestone zone any of the non-productive zones in the area. Be filled with a proof with heavy mud over the base and surface of the casing with the plug not less than 100 feet over the cement placed inside of the base with the surface of the casing provided with the cement casing with the cemented at the base with the fresh water bearing strum them. Cement plug with not less than 100 feet with length with the being placed in the prior 50 feet with below the base of the fresh water bearing stratum. In the event the surface of the casing is not cemented with the base of the fresh water bearing strum with the hole should be capped and similar to the abandoned hole with any other method of the oil gas commission may be used. Alright, 209, dry gas well methods and procedures. We'll cut the tape there.